Or maybe I know what I'm speaking about. Flow sound like a rapper's stuff. You would think I wrote it at the Reaper's house. And the Reaper's out. Hell yeah. When I stop, only heaven knows. I behave just like a demon. Somehow I got a heaven's glow and I'm never slow. I'm so fast, like when you hit 180 on the dash, I'ma go act the fool in the place with the cash, and I don't fuck with 12. Man, I got a spaz 12 flow, I'm a shot blood killer. This what happen when you raised in the jungle with gorillas. Go bananas if you try to touch my niggas. Upgrade ape shit for my niggas, wait. And I do it all for my niggas, hey. Roll deep, some rap, some hitters, hey. Real cool dudes, ain't nothing realer. And I'm setting up framework for a bigger picture. Look, bigger cars, bigger homes, bigger banks, no loan, in the zone. Never stop till I own everything on the throne. And I'm gone, out of space, on the ship. Astronaut, I'm the shit, cut the clip, ain't no more, murder this.
Oh.
Hey. Fucking her, never mind, gotta grind, extra mile, fuck that, extra now, run the turf, now the sky, cloud now, so divine, cut the vine, squeeze the grape, drink the wine, finish that, over grind, overtime, shoot the shot, win the game, get the fame, remember the name, it's the law, and I'm raw. Look, I think this just ain't kill the game, I'm the #1 doctor. Man, fuck it, I just killed this acapella. Sorry, no. Shabba, shabba, rain, shabba, rain.
When I eat, you eat too. When I win, you win too. If I got cookies, if I got cookies, you got cookies. I say. Ceremony, born from the griot. Then you have a breaking boy or girl who know how to exist between the words of the music to extend the sound of the song. Then you have a graffiti artist who came from telling our stories through cave walls. That's still our DNA. Then you have the mother of hip hop who can birth worlds just by spinning a finger. Used to, now you gotta use your thumbs to say this is technology. Yeah. The disc jockey. The fifth element is knowledge. You ain't gotta be able to do none of that shit. Just as long as you conscious of yourself, you hip hop, bro.
Hip hop.
All right. So, light yours off, man. Somebody take a picture of that real quick. I just want you to scroll past this whenever you get a chance and let this be a physical sign instead of us talking so damn much.
I'm not going.
All right, man, y'all in charge, man. I didn't give up, and y'all ass can't give up. So, I'm gonna let you put your own candle out. And you can keep this candle or you can throw it outside in the damn water if you want to. But what I did was I gave it to you. With all my experience, I passed it. The reason why I chose y'all is because God chose y'all. Now listen to what God say. I say. So let this year be the year that all of our seeds grow and not get burnt up, but get fed. The journey begins. Let's kick it off, y'all. All right.
I'm feeling blessed, but you know I gotta keep a mental vest. Cause them shots to the head go straight from stress. But now I'm feeling good, still in the hood. Kicking random with the squad, roll up the wood. Anybody got a problem, wish they would. Thinking that I'm easy, turn to should. Can't rock with them all, circle smile. Best believe we in tune, far from lost. Mental state moved up.
How you don't like hip hop, man? Especially what it was, man. It was a real escape. It wasn't just like art, you know, like sometimes in class you're doodling, or we used to get in trouble for just drawing in the classroom when we were supposed to be doing work, of course. That drawing was a little escape, but hip hop was a universe. It was a portal that you go through, and then somebody crawled into that portal and turned it into a business mechanism. When it was really just a good space for kids to explode their nuclear emotions without really hurting themselves. So that's why I do what I do, man. I had to come to the realization that somebody made that platform for me to be Phenom. Somebody got up, drove their car, got on the bus, or did whatever they did, made deals with whoever the owners of those spots were, and turned the mic on and let us come in and become. And so that's why I do what I do. That was so good to me that I cannot possibly live this life without doing it for somebody else. I was at home, man, with my mama, and my daddy was gone. My brother was in jail. And it was just me and my mama, and I was latchkey teenager, about 13, yeah, around 13 years old, man. And I was in Oak Park and River Forest High School by that time. And my mom was trying to move us out the hood so the hood wouldn't get us, but it got my brother to an extent. And so I went to Oak Park and they had this dance. They had this homecoming dance. And man, I first haven't even heard loud music on those loud size speakers. That's the first. Cause at the crib, we had, crib speakers. And my mom used to play Anita Baker all the time and, Luther Vandross and all of them. And she played some old school hip hop. But when I went to that homecoming dance, man, I remember the click. I was just standing around watching everybody. I'm like, this is cool, man. Look at that. Look at all these kids just by themselves. This is dope. And then the DJ played Dwick by Gangstar. Doom, 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 doom. Craig Nice, Craig NICE. And man, the way that hit me was like, whoa. The bass of it and Gangstar, Annie, Meanie, Mighty Mo. Man, he's like, I was a movie buff and I was watching movies with my mom and we just got through watching Die Hard and he mentioned Die Hard. So I get most props from Stunts and Bruce Willis. I'm like, man, that was clever what he said, man. I just had a moment that it was just timelessness and I was stuck in that rhyme and in that whole song, and I was like, wow, that was dope. That hit me. And then so after that, I was lit. And then I went home, and then on the radio, I remember it was Fast Eddie. Jump in, I was like, man, I could do that. Then I wrote me a rhyme, man, and went back to school and spit it in the locker room right before gym. And from that point, man, I was the man. The man from that point. From that point on, my whole life changed at 13.
So-called house music was first made in the creators' houses, but it was also performed at clubs called the Warehouse and Powerhouse. However it got its name, it's one of the hottest things going, and as Jay Levine reports, it may only be a matter of time before house musicians become heroes in their own home.
They started playing house music at this Michigan Avenue Hotel and Health Club last summer, and they've been packing them in ever since. It's the first time house has escaped the South Side dance clubs or North Side juice bars for a more upscale audience, though it's still a long way from sweeping the city.
main community I would say is South Shore and the Black LGBT community in South Shore. So in the early 70s, Chicago still very much had a racial and segregation issue. And many of the popular discos in Chicago, like the Bistro, had what they would call had what was called like a black quota, where they would only allow only a certain amount of blacks in at a time. And so a group of guys, Craig Cannon being one of them, started throwing their own parties at these houses in South Shore. And Robert Williams moved here from New York. He was coming here visiting because some of these guys were actually his frat brothers. I don't know the fraternity though. And he eventually ended up joining them. Robert came from a juvenile correction background. And so he had this kind of thing about order and structure, and he was able to kind of bring more structure to it. And those parties end up being so big that they had to find spaces because they had outgrown the houses. And so that's actually a train of thought when it comes down to the definition of where the term house music came from.
The term, actually where it comes from, some say this, some say that, but for me it came from the Club Warehouse, and it was just shortened to house.
House music started at house parties, hence the word house music.
Jesse Saunders pressed and did his own 12-inch. And on that 12-inch, it had his name and address and phone number on the label. And so places like Barney's and whatever, they would have, if they ran out, then what did you do? Then they wanted, George, how did you get the record? I called his house. That's where the term house music came from.
It's hard to pinpoint because everybody had a piece of something going all over Chicago. Because as much as you tell the story of Robert coming from New York, right, and moving here in '74, Ron Hardy, who was considered very much one of the main pioneers, where there is even always a battle between Ron Hardy and Frankie, with Frankie being considered the godfather of house, and Ron being considered to be, there's people who consider Ron Hardy to be the godfather of house, right? Ron Hardy was spinning at a club called Dem One in 1974. Frankie didn't move here until 1977. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's so many bits and pieces, but so there is no, that's what I was saying, there's no one true origin story, because there's so many people and so many things that was happening across the city. But I would say the big bang moment had to be the South Shore party. That's where the light was shining from, if you will.
I think they both come from struggle. I think they both come from wanting to be heard. I think they both are embedded in our history are just of music, the rhythm, cadence, call and response, poetry, dance. They're both symbiotic. They probably are more cousin than people give them credit for. Yeah. But I believe that it all comes from that same place of struggle, of us trying to be heard. And then saying, fuck them. I don't care if they hear me or not. If my people hear me, that's good enough for me. I know what I'm gonna get when I go to a house party. I know what I'm gonna get when I go see a rap show, you know. Or I know what I'm gonna get when I go to a poetry venue. And that's gonna be me and my people being able to convene together and be able to be heard. It's not necessarily being accepted by folks who don't get it.
This is for the love of hip hop. It keeps going and it don't stop. Taking back what they steal. So you capture the feeling. Rap sounds ridiculous.
There's no removing. It's like it's already kind of in you, right? I don't know if you would agree with that. Like there's really no. It's not like I woke up looking for house. It was like I woke up and house was there already, right? So in terms of rap music and house music, and if there's like some type of dividing line, I don't think there was a clear distinction, at least not for my generation, at least, because when I went to high school, I went to Hales Franciscan, right? So I went to Quigley South, then I went to Hales Franciscan. Right. And so anybody around that time, I came out in 1989. So anybody around that time, Hales threw the best parties. I'm saying that right now. If you got beef with me, look me up. We got beef. Hales had the best parties. Everybody from DJ Armando to Ferris to Terry Hunter. All these people I'm naming, you can verify DJ the dopest parties at Hales. So I'm saying that to say around that time, house music was it. Right? Yeah, right? House music. So if you went to a high school party, whether it be at Hales, who had the best parties, or Leo, or Mendel, or Julian, or Dunbar, or any other schools in Chicago, the music of choice was going to be house music. And that's just how it was.
Early 90s, it was a constant tug of war with hip hop and house, because hip hop wanted a piece of that dance floor and they wanted that music to be played, but they were being stifled by all the house dudes who were doing high kicks and jumping all over the place and doing, their dance moves, showing their form of freedom and expression. And it clashed because which I still think is stupid to this day, they didn't want to seem like they were gay. And that's why a lot of the back and forth between hip hop and house went on. But whether we like it or not, house music is Chicago. And that constant battle had us really like physically getting into it in these dance floors and these clubs, and there was a definite separation with our DJs because they didn't know what to do, because they could say it's a house party, but here come the B-boys. It's a possibility the party may be over just because of them, and just a clashing of the two cultures.
You would bump into a lot of quote unquote house people who just they hated hip hop, and they and we wanted to be a part of dance culture, and that's really what it was. Hip hop and house were both dancing cultures, and very, very creative and musical cultures. But a lot of people didn't know that they had similar relationships with funk and disco. So we would go, we could be anywhere, and it'll be like, oh, y'all hip hop, get that beat street out of here, And then it ended up becoming a war between house and hip hop, where it eventually wound up on radio. Like it happened at WHBK as well. Chili Q would be like, absolutely, positively, no house people allowed. And that was his moniker for no house people being at WHBK, because house actually alienated hip hop for a long time. For a long time, a lot of us had to hide the fact that we loved house music, you know, among our hip hop peers, because we were alienated and treated so horribly by I guess you could call it elitist culture.